No votes for Steve. Sorry.
It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielson and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Oil Stream. Happy Wednesday. Thank you very much for being here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're listening on a TuneIn or at edmontonsportstalk.com, you can text in anytime, 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube, you can just message us in the nasty chat. Or with that being said, you can also just text us if you want, if you don't want your comments to come up in the chat at 780-218-9999. Thank you very much for joining us here today. As Penner's Pancake says, only 6 more days of boredom for Oilers fans with trade proposals. Yeah. By the way, Tommy, nice Hello Hockey pullover there.
Thank you to Sean Bell.
That's
Thank
nice.
you.
That's a nice zip up right there.
Yeah.
Man.
But I think, like, Bellsy was like, hey, I've got some stuff for you guys and stuff for, like, Trev, too.
Yeah.
I think it was his wife, Lindsay, that probably
obviously. Sure.
curated this.
Yeah, I would think.
She's very meticulous. Sean, to his credit, is pretty
Also meticulous?
pretty sharp. No, sharp.
Oh, sharp looking
But
guy.
I think
Yeah.
Lindsay is the brains there.
Okay.
And she handles a lot of the Hello Hockey side of it.
Yeah, no, that's a good look.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I finally got down to Silent Ice Center yesterday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome, right?
Wow. Like, I knew it was going to be amazing, but just fantastic. And Laddie was, I think he was out there with Scott Glennie in the U15s. They were practicing, and he's just yelling like crazy. And I go on the bench. I'm like, hey, settle down.
Calm down,
and he's
man.
Like,
It's
shut
practice.
the F up, Gazzola. What is this? I'm like, oh, good to see you, too. But, yeah, I think what a facility. And Bellsy and his lovely wife, Lindsay, I think, came up with these.
Yeah, well, the Summit restaurant down there.
That's where we went.
Yeah, and there's no 6 o'clock or lager.
It was out, but they ordered another keg.
Okay, good.
Because I asked.
That's awesome. Like, it's good and good. It's good that it's out, like,
Yeah.
but it's good that it's there. It's good that they're getting more. Like,
And Lindsay set up Hello Hockey coasters at Summit Restaurant.
oh, that's smart too.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that looks.
EST,
That makes it good to say. That's wise. Yeah.
EST, Hello Hockey, Silent Ice, Summit Restaurant. There's among all the fantastic partnerships that we have with our lovely sponsors like One Putt and BP
Yeah.
and Coolbet and Popeyes.
There's a lot.
We have a lot of great partners.
There's a lot there. There's no doubt about it. I was going to say, you know where else you can get 6 o'clock or lager? At One Putt. If you're looking to plan something, if you're not going to join us at the Super Bowl party, what about hitting the links? This is a good idea. One Putt Virtual Golf is one of the best and most accurate indoor golf places in the city for both serious and casual golfers. They got the 6 TrackMan bays. Perfect place to golf and hang out with your friends while watching the Oilers game. They're also currently offering an awesome Super Bowl package. It'll get you 7 hours of golf. So you'll be golfing from 4 o'clock to 11 p.m., 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. throughout the Super Bowl. $50 drink credit at a price of $295 for up to 5 golfers. There are only 3 spots left. This was when Shen emailed me a couple days ago, so I don't know what the update is on it here. But you can also try the 6 o'clock or lager at One Putt as well. They got it in the cans over there, which is great. So to learn more, check them out, www.oneputt.ca/deals, or follow their Instagram at OnePuttYEG. All right, so I mean, not everybody's, it is a little bit of a quiet time here. There's no doubt about that, but it does pop up some good content. You had the Athletic piece. DNB wrote something at the Athletic about the 5 pieces that they could move at the deadline, like that would have some value. We can kind of go over that a little bit. It's pretty basic. It's kind of like who you thought. We had some great text messages. Apparently, Stoff is really pushing hard on this Kulak-Lindholm thing, to the point where people today were like, "Oh, it was wild this morning on the Nielsen show." So, I mean, I don't know where that'll go. Future Edmonton Sports Talk guest Stoff has got people pretty fired up about Elias Lindholm, which I laid it out earlier, and this is a fun question when it comes to Kulak. When was the last time a Stanley Cup contender? And I haven't looked this up myself. Somebody might have this off the top of their head. When was the last time a Stanley Cup contender traded away a veteran defenseman at the deadline and brought in a guy who hadn't really proven himself as a full-time NHL yet from the minors to replace him during a cup run.
I was thinking about that this morning when you guys were talking about it on the Nielsen
Is
show.
there anything off the top of your head where you're like...
The first thought that came to my mind was, why is it always Kulak?
I know.
Want to get rid of Kulak.
Well, I'm sure lots of people would do the same thing with Ceci.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And I want to start this by saying Pagnotta on Hello Hockey, Saturdays right here on EST from 10 till noon, did say that he is of the mind and hearing rumblings that the Oilers are trying to make a move for a veteran forward. And he thinks that the piece that could be moved is Cody Ceci, not Brett Kulak. That's what he was telling me. He thinks Ceci may be involved. And I was like, well, that right side looks really, really weak. But then either way, like you get rid of Kulak or Ceci, it's like you have a hole now.
This makes zero sense to me.
And Philip Broberg hasn't proven he's ready.
No, even if he's looked good since he gone back down to the American Hockey League, he's looked good in the American Hockey League before. And then in the NHL, you're just like, oh, not yet. Like
at the NHL level, he hasn't proven he's ready. And I don't know why now is a good time to thrust him into a position like that when you're, showing that you're starting to live up to that Stanley Cup contender status that was given to you, bestowed upon you during the preseason and in the summer. How does that help you become? I think that hurts if you make a move like that. And then the other thing I was thinking too, I'm like, why are Oilers fans just so bloodthirsty for Elias Lindholm? And then I'm like, I think it's just the sexiness of it, the proposition of give me.
Well, what it is, Tommy, is that he's the sexiest thing available.
I know.
Everybody wants the sexiest thing available.
That was my immediate answer.
Why do you think I'm married? Right?
Because you are the sexiest thing
available. At one point, I was the sexiest thing available. I got gobbled up.
Yeah.
Now you're the sexiest thing available. Somebody's going to gobble you up one day, too.
But I'm slippery.
Yeah.
I'm slippery.
You are slippery. You're not easy to track down, this guy.
I wriggle my way out
like this whole, these rumors, like this just, like moving Ceci or Kulak to upgrade the blue line, I get it.
Yes.
I understand that. Moving Ceci or Kulak to upgrade a forward group that is already really awesome makes zero sense to me. Because you don't, like, unless you think Broberg is the real deal and you're going to be able to play Broberg and Desharnais for 14 minutes a night in the playoffs, which maybe you can get away with, it just doesn't make sense because I don't know if it was on Oil Stream or on the Nielsen show this week. I just don't understand how the others get eliminated from the playoffs and we're all sitting here going, well, it's because of their sixth forward in their top six. That is not going to be the case.
No.
And that's the only thing you'd really be trying to upgrade by moving those guys.
Right.
I feel like I'm an idiot. Like I'm stupid because I'm very confused on why you would take veteran bodies off your blue line to improve a forward group that doesn't really need much improving.
How dare you?
It makes zero sense.
How dare you use logic and reason to formulate that thought?
The only thing I can think of is those who are trying to justify it do think Broberg is the real deal. And even if, have this conversation in the offseason, sure. But you're about to go, and one thing we did on our show today is on the Nielsen show at least, we are no longer referring to the NHL playoffs as the playoffs. It's a cup run now.
Cup run.
It's a cup run. There's one thing you need during a cup run. It's veteran defensemen. If you were to move Ceci or Kulak and not, like I said, upgrade the D, I get it. Would make sense. I'd be all for it. But if you were to move one of these veteran defensemen, and hey, awesome, Broberg's good to go. Okay.
But
Darnell Nurse gets hurt in the playoffs.
You're screwed.
All of a sudden, Broberg's your second shot left defenseman. You're effed. It's done. It's over. So you might be able to sneak by if everybody stays healthy. By the way, 3 man games lost on the blue line this year. So, I mean, that's probably going to change at some point just by how regular season hockey goes.
Hopefully not, but you're right.
But, I mean, come on. You're going to go the entire season with missing 3 games due to injury
Calgary
in the blue line?
did it one year.
That would be amazing. But how often does it happen?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. But if you get into the playoffs and you lose one of your top 4 defensemen, you're screwed. At least now you can put Kulak up there and feel somewhat okay about it. He's not going to be Nurse. He's not going to be Ekholm.
Yeah.
But he's also not going to be a guy who couldn't even cut it here for the first half of the season. So it makes zero sense. I got no time for it. I think the entire concept is ridiculous.
I'm with you. It creates for good discussion, and it does get people going, and the juices salivate in people's mouths when they add Lindholm. But yeah, the Oilers need more defensemen. They literally have 6 healthy D-men. I mean, if you want to call Phil Kemp a D-man on the team, he's just kind of getting that.
He played his one game as a forward.
He played 2 minutes and 6 seconds. So he's there, but like not really, you know. I like the idea of stacking the forward unit, but the pressing need is probably more D-men because you only have 6 that can legitimately play right now.
Feel better now.
Good. You got it off your chest.
The whole thing's been driving me nuts.
Yeah, but Bob said it, so let's
I know.
all over it.
I will this time, though.
I said that sarcastically.
But I will say, if the deadline passes this year and, like, Lindholm's not here and Kulak's still here, I'm going to have to put in one of those calls to Stoff. Because, like, Stoff always calls, he'll always call us.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't call Stoff. Mostly because I really don't ever have anything to really talk about. I don't like making phone calls. I'd rather text.
Yes.
Are you a phone call guy or a text guy?
I'm a text guy.
I would way rather text. I hate picking up the phone and talking to people. It sucks.
Yeah.
But I would have to put in a call at this point. I'd be like, Stop. You've sent
it.
the entire city into a frenzy.
Yeah.
And you're breaking hearts out here.
I said my piece.
Yeah, you're breaking hearts.
Weeks ago. I said my piece a couple weeks ago.
You're breaking hearts out here.
I thought Bob was going to come at me about that, but he brought up something that we discussed on the show like a couple months ago. I was like, yes, we did say that. He goes, well, you know. And I'm like, oh, you're not going to dump on me for it. He just kind of pumped his own tires. And I was like, I'll pump your tires, Bob.
He's a beauty.
He's a beauty.
He's an all-timer.
Yeah,
I just said, he's building up the fans' hopes. And then it's going to get smashed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like, but the Edmonton media was talking about it. And everybody's only talking about it because Stoff has these fantasies. And then it's like, come on, man.
Anyway.
You're breaking the hearts of people.
And again, I'm just going to go to what I've been told. And it's that the Oilers are looking for a veteran forward. And, you know, Pagnotta was like floating it out there to me. He's like, start asking some questions around there. And I did. I got a brushback pitch when I brought that scenario up. So I'm like, maybe Pagnotta's onto something. If you don't know who Dave Pagnotta is by now, he's the guy that broke the Corey Perry trade, among many other signings and deals that have come about in the last few years. Anyway, so he thinks the Oilers are definitely in the market for a veteran forward, and his chip bargaining piece that the Oilers could move on from, at least in his mind and what he could deduce, he thinks it might be Cody Ceci. So that's where we're at. I don't know where it goes from here. I like Cody Ceci.
So you go into the playoffs with Bouchard, Desharnais, 2 young defensemen.
That's a lot to ask.
And Broberg playing on the right side. Like, you're going to go into a Stanley Cup run with Bouchard, Desharnais, and Broberg.
It's not
that hurts this team.
Yes. That's why I feel like it's unlikely unless there's some other target or something else that they're working on, which may be possible. I don't know. But if it was straight up like, hey, you're moving on from CC, or as people have been discussing, Kulak, to get Lindholm, like, okay, you're just adding to one area of your roster that's pretty good already, and then creating a sizable hole on the other side of your roster, which is the back end.
Yeah, Lick Fury is in and says, all of this talk of trading CC and Kulak make it seem like the Oilers' defense is the strength of the team. Confused face.
It is. That's a very good point. It's
like,
yeah,
it's not necessarily the case.
It's one bad collision away from having a monster hole on it.
100%. The blue line as constructed right now.
Yeah,
it's good. It's adequate top to bottom.
Yeah, Dusty.
But things fall off quickly if somebody of significance gets hurt.
Absolutely. I'll add this too. Every time I discuss or bring up to people within the organization.
Oh, I hurt my knuckle when I hit the wood.
Don't do that.
I know, sorry. I do good punching.
It's soft wood.
I know. It's starting to chip a little bit.
What's going on with your hands here?
Yeah. Well, when you got big manly hands like me, it happens.
Anyway, anytime this discussion about potential moves comes up or names are being thrown around, I'm always by multiple people every time almost. I'm always reminded of, hey, keep in mind, Tom, we don't have a lot of cap space to work with.
$1 million at the deadline as a cap hit.
Yeah.
If they keep the roster the same as it
Everything is tight. Everything has to be money in, money out. That has to be factored in. And the other thing I'm told is, we look at things and we have ideas. Can we execute on them? And a good chunk of the time, it's not feasible.
If you're looking for something to do, Super Bowl, 7 hours of golf from 4 to 11 o'clock. Watch the game, hit the links, have some drinks. $295 for up to 5 golfers, $50 drink credit. Spots are going quick. 6 o'clock or lager in the can at One Putt.
Boom.
To learn more, check them out, oneputt.ca/deals, or follow their Instagram account. And that is at One Putt YEG. Nasty chat rolling. You can hit us up there. As somebody said, B Mother Review says, any D-man traded must be immediately replaced, not by Broberg. Right? Which is, if you want to try to improve the team and you want to trade Kulak for an upgrade, you want to trade Ceci for an upgrade, have at her. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
For sure.
But to take away from your blue line to possibly improve your forward group just doesn't seem like a contending decision for a possible cup run, right? Like, this doesn't make a lot of sense in that situation. Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by Popeyes. Pick up your Oilers Collector's Cup at all Popeyes locations for just $16.99. You'll get a classic chicken sandwich or the spicy chicken sandwich, your choice. You get the nugs, you get the Cajun fries, you get the medium drink, you get the dipping sauce, and you get one of 4 Oilers Collector's Cups. We'll talk a little bit about Kuba later on because I'm going to make a case for Connor McDavid to win the Art Ross. He's 18 points back.
He's going to have to go on a monster tear here.
He's going to have to go on a tear, but he's got significant games in hand on both those guys. So it doesn't matter if he does or not. Like, they're going to try to win a championship this year. So, but let's get to this athletic. Let's get to the athletic poll. I want to get to this. This is always fun. So give us the details on this thing.
All right, it's the anonymous NHL player poll, as done by the Athletic. Who's the best player? Who's most overrated? Who's the best goalie? What's the worst road city? Edmonton will probably be on the list, unfortunately. So the categories: best player, best goalie, most underrated and overrated players. Who's the player you'd most like to punch? I like that category.
That's a good one.
Best and worst refs. I think Oilers fans are going to appreciate this one.
It's got to be Gazzola.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Runaway.
He's right there.
Runaway.
There's a couple up there with Kazari. And then favorite jerseys, favorite and least favorite road cities. So best player in the league. Let's just
are there percentages here?
Percentages.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
Really quickly. This one we don't even need to dive
Connor
into.
McDavid. Can I guess the percentage?
Yes.
Did you start to say? Okay, I'll just 75% of the league said he's the best player.
69%.
Nice.
Nathan McKinnon second, 16.02%. Kucherov third, 7.18%. And then you've got honorable mentions like Crosby, Makar, Kaprizov, Matthews, Barkov, Forsberg, and Panarin.
So guys who got a little bit of vote there.
Yeah. Crosby.
Forsberg. Good for Forsberg.
Yeah.
You know, when the Oilers play Nashville, you're like, damn,
he was good.
Forsberg is a good hockey player.
Very, very good.
Yeah. All right, next category.
Who is the best goalie in the league? Want to take a guess?
Connor Hellebuck.
Second. He came
What?
Second, yeah.
Oh, Vasilevsky?
Yeah, guess how much the percentage was?
24%.
44%.
44%?
Yep.
So what's Hellebuck at?
15.3.
Wow. That surprises me a little bit. That's a huge separation.
I'm surprised that
Wow.
the 2 New York goalies aren't higher up on this list. Because guess who's third?
Huh. Let me UC Saros?
No, Thatch Dog.
Thatcher Demko?
Yeah.
As viewed by players?
Tied with Sorokin. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Do people call him Thatch Dog, or did you just come up with this?
It's a
Thatcher
terrible name.
Bartholomew Demko.
I think that is his legal birth name.
Okay. All right, next.
Okay. No Stuart Skinner.
I didn't think so. Not yet.
He did not even get a other
Yeah.
vote. He didn't even get one. Let's go on to the next category. Who is the most underrated player in the league?
Okay, like for a long time, this would have been Barkov.
He's second.
He's still second.
Yeah, but first is kind of like a weird one. It's not a player. It's other category.
What do you mean it's other category?
So
it's like a coach?
It means no. It means like the players all pick a different
Oh, so
yeah.
Barkov is technically number one?
Number one of got
Okay,
the
so
most
the
votes
other
of actual-
category was how many? What was the percent?
22%.
Okay, and then Barkov.
Barkov at 12%.
So Barkov is technically the most underrated player in the league.
he got the most player votes.
And how are you the most underrated player in the league for 7 years?
And an all-star and win a Selke trophy. I think it's the Florida factor. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because you're stuck in Florida. That's a tough market to be. It's a tough market to be recognized in the NHL in. It's a great market to play in because you can fly under the radar and do whatever the hell you want and get paid bazillions of dollars to do it. Sam Reinhart came in technically third, but second among actual players voted for. Braden Point, Mikko Rantanen,
still,
Kyle Connor, Joel Eriksson-Ek, who the Oilers would have taken with their second
that still would have been there, yeah.
Zach Hyman, right behind Eriksson-Ek.
Oh, that's nice.
Sebastian Aho, the good one, Carolina.
Imagine if the Islanders' Sebastian Aho made this list.
Whoops. Nugent Hopkins and Rope Hintz are also on this list.
Okay.
They got some.
Okay, well, that's interesting because we have further discussion on the Nuge here.
Yeah, Nuge comes up in another one.
All right.
Who is the most overrated player in the league?
Okay, I know who number 2 is.
Yeah, number 1 is, I'm just going to say it, it's like underrated. It's other.
Oh, okay.
And it got 26.73% of the vote. So
the local guy is
he's up there.
One technically. Oh, okay. So Zegras.
Zegras is the first
player that's there.
Not other. Yeah.
Okay. What's the percentage on Zegras?
12.87.
Okay.
Okay. Guess who is behind him?
Darnell Nurse.
It is Darnell Nurse.
Still Darnell Nurse.
Yeah,
eh?
7.92%.
Nurse is having a pretty steady seat. Like, is this like? Do you think fellow NHL players are like just kind of like how Oilers fans are when he's not playing well, and they just look at the contract and go, like, do they view this as overpaid as opposed to overrated? Maybe.
Yeah, because
mind you, Zegras really isn't overpaid, but he might be overrated just because he's flashy.
The flashiness, yeah. Because the NHL players, like fans, like they're fans of the game too when they're not playing, and they compare their salaries, their individual contracts to other guys. Like, how the hell is that guy making 9.25 when Makar is making? Those conversations do happen among NHL players, and Darnell's getting paid handsomely, as we know and has been discussed ad nauseum in our market. He is having a good season, though. I think Oiler fans will appreciate the third most overrated player, as voted by players in the Athletic anonymous player poll.
Who is it?
Matthew Tkachuk.
Matthew Tkachuk.
Tied with Jason Robertson.
Why is Matthew Tkachuk? Like, Matthew Tkachuk's a 100-point guy who will punch you in the face.
Well, I think part of this, too, is like...
Is this part of, like, we also don't like you?
Yeah.
This is a real weird one today.
Jason Robertson surprises me a little bit. I really like Jason Robertson. I appreciate him as a player.
He had a huge year last year. He's not there right now this year.
And I think he'll bounce back next year.
The Tkachuk one, I find that Tkachuk's interesting. I mean, you build a franchise around Matthew Tkachuk.
Here's one where the next guy after Tkachuk and Robertson, this is one where the contract really emphasizes it. Jonathan Huberdeau.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Ovechkin got 4.95%
what?
of the vote.
That's where we're at now, hey?
Yeah, we're at that point. And then Nugent Hopkins right behind Ovechkin.
So Nuge is on Nuge is on both overrated and underrated lists.
Yes.
That's interesting. That's an interesting way to be viewed by different people around the league.
It is interesting. P.L. Dubois tied with Nuge. Patrick Laine tied with Nuge. Erik Karlsson tied with Nuge. Then there's Timo Meier, Mitch Marner. And then there's 3 guys, and it's of note because I want to get to this. Seth Jones, Jacob Trouba, and Evander Kane tied at 1.98% of the vote.
Okay, so let's just play off this Nuge thing for a second.
Sure.
Is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, because he comes up on both of these lists, is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins overrated or underrated, in your opinion?
I don't know. I would probably go underrated. I like him. I appreciate what he does on both sides of the puck. No, he's not the best in his own side or in his own zone always. Nobody's perfect in their own zone. Is his face-off percentage great? No, but he is flexible, versatile. I am totally biased towards him because I've known him since he was baby Nuge.
Yeah, little guy.
Just a little guy. He's a very, very good NHL player.
This is going to be a total, Dusty's sitting on the fence moment here, but I think the fact that he's on both the overrated and underrated is kind of where I think he's viewed perfectly. I think he should be like in this market. I don't think we're overrating Nuge, and I don't think we're underrating Ryan Nugent. I think we view Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as a guy who's perfectly designed as a hockey player to play on the Oilers' power play, and kill it on a points production, and he's still a second line center who can play as a first line winger.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just who he is. How are we overrating him?
I think his name probably pops up. My guess would be because he had a 100-point season last year, totally benefiting from a historic power play. So,
but even with Nugent's 100-point season last year, it's not like when they ranked the top 20 players in the league this year, Nuge wasn't in it.
No.
Right? And he would have been a top 10 scoring guy.
But
so
that's where I could see some of his peers in the National Hockey League being like, well, he's not really a 100-point guy. And they put him up there. And then
maybe.
And then in terms of underrated, there's guys, I'm guessing more guys in the Western Conference who play against him more than once or twice a year, or be like, he helps this thing go.
Yeah.
He helps it hum along. He's a key cog in the big machine, and they probably gave him the underrated kind of label.
Well, that's what Jenna says. She goes, East probably underrates Nuge.
Yeah.
West overrates Nuge, and it all just comes out in the wash.
Yeah.
And McJesus is in and says, Eberle and Hall voted Nuge underrated. Justin Hall voted him overrated.
Right. That's a good one. I like that. That's a good text.
Yeah, it would be nice to know who the players were. I know it's anonymous, but not their votes, just to see, like, even just the teams where the guys came from.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get that East versus West type of thing. All right, what else we got for lists?
All right, this is a funny category. I like this. So it also tells you how many players voted. So this was 147 votes.
Okay.
From 147 players. Who's the player in the league whose face you most want to punch? Number one by far and away. You want to take a guess?
No, you told me it's Cousins.
Yeah, Nick Cousins.
Yeah, it's Nick Cousins.
Second place is other at 16.3%.
All right, who else makes this list?
Well, this is a guy that's been a shit disturber for his entire
Kachuk?
career. He's right. He's in the top
Brad
five.
Marchand?
Brad Marchand.
Brad Marchand.
Yeah, 14.9%.
Yeah.
Kachuk's behind him. Michael Bunting, Connor Garland are up there. Garnet Hathaway, Brady Kachuk.
Garnet Hathaway has a face that you just, like, I don't care about him.
Yeah.
But he's got that creepy looking face that I would like to punch.
He's a very nice guy, though.
Yeah.
Like, he's great
But
to
his
talk
face
to.
is just like.
Yeah. Ryan Lomberg, Nazem Kadri, Kevin Fiala, Jeff Skinner, all at 2%. Zegras, Wilson, Rasmus Anderson, Radko Gudas, Nikita Zadorov, Evander Kane again. And David Perron, all with 1.36%. And then the guys that fell in the other category were Pietrangelo, Lafreniere, Kopp, Sherratt, Montour, Gallagher, Darnell Nurse, Eric Gudbranson, Vetrano, Wallman, O'Brien, Logan Stanley, Entwistle, Mason Marchment, Paul Cotter.
Paul Cotter?
Paul Cotter.
Who voted Paul Cotter?
He's Jack Michael's favorite player outside of the Oilers. Yeah, Paul Cotter. Rasmus Dahlin, Rasmus Ristolainen, Roman Josi, Ryan Hartman, Ryan Suter, Taylor Radish, Tim Stutzla, Matt Frederick, and Warren Fogle. Each received
Who wants
vote.
to punch Fogle in the face?
I don't know.
My God. I was going to say, obviously, Draisaitl voted on this thing because Pietrangelo was in there.
Yes.
I mean, he probably a shot at him there.
Yeah.
Marchand, I totally get.
Yeah.
Marchand has a very punchable face. You play the way that he's played for a long time.
This is making me laugh. I love this.
That was good.
Yes.
Can't believe Fogle slides in there. Good for Fogle.
Yeah, I guess
Fogle
so.
has got out of the skin of at least one player in the National Hockey League, which is good to know.
Well done.
If you want to guess, who do you think? There must be some reason. I don't think anybody just randomly goes, Warren Fogle. So I wonder what who was it? Try to guess
He's
who
a nice
voted.
guy.
Oh, man. That's, yeah. A bunch of people in the chat saying Austin Matthews. No Matthews on there, eh?
No, Matthews didn't even get one
They
vote
didn't even get a single vote.
out of 147 votes. Because, like,
I guess nobody from the Eastern media voted.
yeah, you can skip or pass. Like, I know, I think DNB
certain categories or
I
whatever?
know DNB pulled a few Oilers aside to ask them, to get them to do it. and I wasn't listening to what they were saying because they went off to a side of the room, so it didn't get out. But I know guys can pass on them because I've asked
certain ones.
Yeah, if they don't like it or they're not comfortable with it, they pass on it. Okay, here's one.
Northside Sandwich says definitely Ethan Bear because of the trade. Because of the trade, right? Makes sense.
To see Ethan catch on with the Caps, though.
All right, what's the next category?
Who's the best ref in the game? 132
The best ref?
votes. Yeah, best ref. This guy won by a landslide.
Go ahead.
You don't even want to take a guess?
No, I don't like supporting officials.
I'm with you. Wes McCauley.
Yeah, Wes McCauley.
53%.
Yeah.
Kelly Sutherland, 18.18%. Other got 8.3%. Justin St. Pierre, 5.3%. And then the other guys, Kyle Raymond got 4.55. Garrett Rank got 3. And then TJ Luxmore, Pierre Lambert, Jean Hebert, Chris Schenkler, and Chris Rooney all got 1.5%.
Yeah. We don't need the other list on good officials.
Steve Kazari did not receive one vote. Unless he falls in other. But no, he doesn't because it gives you the list of all the others, and he's not on there. Not one vote.
Okay, Narf is it. It says it was definitely Kane that voted for Fogle. Took his spot on the second line.
Oh, stop it. Oh, stop it.
Okay, this is what I care about. Worst official.
Here's one where a lot of the players passed.
Really?
92
votes. Oh, come on.
I know.
Step up. Nobody's going to know. It's anonymous.
This one should be 100% attendance on this one. Okay, so who's the worst ref in the game? Do you think it's Steve Kazari or do you think it's someone else?
It's either Steve Kazari or the other category.
Other category came in third.
Really?
Yeah.
Kazari's not number one?
He's not number one.
Whoa. Who's number one?
Justin St. Pierre.
Really?
29.35% of the vote.
Yeah, that's going to sting a bit. Like, if you're an official and you read this, I know we can joke about it and laugh about it, but if, that is you, if we were St. Pierre, that would suck. I'd be like, man, these guys think I'm bad at my job.
What's interesting is 5.3 gave him best official.
Well, I guess it just goes to show that officials are inconsistent.
You think?
Which is exactly what officiating is, right?
Yeah. Steve Kazari got 13.04% of the vote. Now, 92 players actually did this one and didn't say pass, but Wes McCauley's fourth, Garrett Rank is fifth. A couple of the guys, McCauley, he was up there, and where was Rank? Rank got some, best votes. Where's Kelly Sutherland? Did he get some bad votes? No, Kelly Sutherland seems like everybody likes him. Doesn't even look like he got a...
But McCauley got some... So for Kelly Sutherland...
Kelly Sutherland does have 2.17% of the worst rep.
Both officials. Some people view him... that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Is that the last category?
No.
Oh, good. There's more. I was going to say, I hope there's more categories. Yeah.
This is fun. Okay, this is the aesthetic of the game. I don't think any player, maybe one or two, decided to pass. What's the best jersey in the league? These are questions that the boys, Jack and Ken at Pro-Am would love.
Montreal Canadiens?
It is top 5. No surprise what the top 6 are.
The original 6?
Original 6.
All 6 of them?
All 6 are the top 6.
Which one was number 1? Boston?
Chicago. It's a phenomenal uniform.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Don't ever change it. You could do third jerseys, obviously, but it's great. And then this one I've grown to like because my junior B team wore these exact uniforms. Detroit came in second.
The Red Wings, yeah.
Very simple, very timeless, classic. Rangers came in third. Leafs fourth. Habs fifth.
I thought the Habs would be up there a little bit further.
Bruins sixth. And keep in mind, Toronto and Boston changed their uniforms quite a bit.
Yeah, modifications along the way or whatever.
Modified quite a bit.
What was the top non-original 6 team?
This one might surprise people. Go for it.
We're talking jersey, right? Not the whole package.
Uniform.
Yeah,
jerseys. It just says jerseys.
Okay.
And you couldn't vote for your own
Which
team.
conference?
Western Conference.
Not the Kraken.
Kraken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guessed it, but I just was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Huh.
The next team, it might surprise you. Another Western Conference team where you're like, oh.
Nashville?
No.
Dallas?
No. Arizona.
Really?
Yeah, the Kachina.
Wow, that's a weird one.
Mm-hmm. San Jose's got a few votes. LA's got a few votes.
Is there a worse jersey in the league?
Yep. It's coming up. Edmonton did get 1 vote.
For best jersey?
Yep.
Must have been the Heritage Classic.
No, I think it's the standard jersey.
I do like the Heritage Classic.
The original 6 may not have produced a Stanley Cup champion since 2015, but the jersey still reigns supreme.
Good.
What else? Kraken did a good job. Golden Knights are in there as well. One of 4 players who mentioned the Flames' Blasty jersey said, I remember Iginla in the horse head. And speaking of recent jerseys, Kraken outdoor jersey, one player said, I think that was the best jersey we've seen.
Like the sleekest looking uni.
Yeah, and he said this player called it sick.
Oh, man. You know it's good when they say it's sick.
And then the last line is, then, of course, there's the jersey. I love those. They're just so funny and clean looking. You know how they
just
made
say
the hat?
yeah.
It says hat.
Yeah. All right. Worst jersey.
Oh, wait. No, there's no.
more?
Oh, damn.
What do you mean?
Worst jersey. Okay, it's favorite
there's no
road
worst
city.
jersey. Favorite road city?
Yeah. Wild guess.
Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
25%.
Nashville?
That came in 4th.
Chicago?
That's further down the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Nashville came in 4th.
Number 2 is like
New York?
Yeah. Number 3.
Florida. Number 3.
Lots of fun.
What?
Lots of fun in this city.
I don't know.
You can speak 2 languages there.
Oh, Montreal.
Yeah,
Montreal. I wasn't even thinking Canadian city.
Vancouver came in 6th. Sunrise, I think Sunrise, that one should come with an asterisk because the Panthers play in Sunrise, but most teams stay in either Fort Lauderdale or Miami Beach. So if you're staying there, like if you stay in Sunrise, when we stayed in Sunrise, especially if it was the Oilers playing in back-to-backs, it was either Tampa, Florida, Tampa, vice versa, whatever. You'd get the hotel right beside the arena, and it was just like, oh, there's nothing. It's like strip malls and stuff. But if you're on the beach, it's way, 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 way better. So I think that's why Sunrise got that. LA's up there. Tampa's up there. Dallas, great city. Other got 2.73%. Chicago, Boston, Toronto. Raleigh, no thanks. Tempe, Phoenix also got some votes. Others included Anaheim, Calgary, Denver, St. Paul, Washington, and Winnipeg. Each received 1 vote. Okay. Let's see about atmosphere in Vegas is a big thing that was brought up by a couple of players.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Restaurants, great place to walk around. I'm talking about New York. MSG being an awesome arena. And then
Right
the Anthem in Chicago was brought up.
All right, what's the next category?
Oh, yeah, Sunrise / Fort Lauderdale, the weather and the beaches.
Well, that's nice.
Okay. Hey, all right. This is good for Edmonton.
What?
Least favorite road city to play in, 177 votes.
Oh, everybody always wants to say bad things about cities, but not refs.
Favorite road city got 182 votes, by the way.
Okay.
So
5 people.
Least favorite road city to play in.
Calgary.
It's up there.
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winnipeg. Duh.
Yeah.
I could see it. I mean, the NHL teams in Winnipeg stay where we stay for CFL games when I'm there, and there's not much going on around there. Like, there's a shark club.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, the rink right there.
Yes.
And that's it.
There's a
keg that you can walk to.
There's a keg. Like, Earl's on, what's it, the Forks? I always have a good time in Winnipeg. The people are friendly. They like to have fun. I've enjoyed every visit I've had there. I went to a CFL game at Old Winnipeg Stadium when it was like Canadiens.
Yeah.
Awful stadium, although McMahon Stadium's still worse than that one was. But it's tough. Like, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
You have to go find your spots.
Where's Edmonton on this list?
Way
down.
It's further down than I thought it would.
Good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Number 2, do you want to take a guess?
Somewhere in Canada?
Yeah.
Ottawa.
Yep.
Yeah.
11%. Oh, by the way, Winnipeg got 41% of the vote.
41%.
Yeah.
Who are they? Vasilevsky? That's wild.
Ottawa got 11%. Number 3, this one, pretty standard knowledge.
In the States?
Yeah. Not far from Canada, though.
Minnesota?
No. Minnesota's actually not bad. Although it does have some
Oh,
votes.
Detroit?
No. Detroit did
Buffalo.
okay.
Buffalo.
Buffalo,
yeah.
yeah.
Buffalo for
Raleigh,
sure.
Buffalo 10%, Raleigh 7%, Tempe, Phoenix, 6. I think a lot of that has to do with the arena.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the players are like, it's
ridiculous.
This is Busch League. Even though it's a cool experience for fans, it's brand new. It's not a major league venue, and I think that wears on guys.
It's not even close to a major league venue.
No, it's not.
Come on.
It's novelty, and it doesn't sit well with a lot of guys. Calgary, 5%.
Good.
Yeah.
Take that, Calgary.
Other, 3.95. Columbus, 2.8%. Then Edmonton, 2.2.
Oh, whatever. I mean, further down the list.
Yeah. Then San Jose,
Edmonton
Newark,
is better than Calgary. Confirmed.
Yeah. St. Paul, Belmont, New York. So 2 of the New York area teams got put on here.
Despite being that high in the other
Detroit's on there. I heard, I was talking to the Oilers equipment staff, and I'm like, how's everything in Detroit? They're like, you know what, man? They have done a great job of revitalizing the downtown there. It's safer, businesses, people moving and living there. And I remember my first time going to Detroit, 2011, 2012. It was scary. Like, it was really bad, like dangerous.
Wasn't it Tchaikovsky who couldn't go there anymore? Wasn't Titch right there?
Well, he said that
scathing article.
Yeah, I think Titch is hilarious, and it's good to see him kind of creeping his way back onto Twitter.
I see the odd tweet. It gets me fired up, man.
But he's very mindful of what he tweets now.
Yeah.
But one of his leads was something like Detroit, where they use more chalk on murder victim outlines than they do on school classroom chalkboards.
I didn't go over well.
No, it didn't.
Did not go over
Mickey
well.
Redmond confronted him.
Really? Ugh.
Yeah.
So I guess he had to dial that back.
But it was like the murder capital of the U.S. for a bit.
Yeah.
But I guess they've cleaned it up quite a bit. So Edmonton's in with Columbus and San Jose. So Newark, St. Paul, Belmont, where the Islanders play now. Detroit and Anaheim got some votes, and then. For the other category, Boston got votes, Philadelphia got 1, Pittsburgh, Seattle, St. Louis, Vegas, and Washington each received 1 vote.
All right, what's left? How many more categories do we have?
That was it.
That was it.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was kind of good to kind of see where players are kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess the biggest takeaway from that is, from an Oilers perspective, Darnell Nurse is the second most overrated player in the league, according to players.
According to players, yeah.
But it's probably how players think the media views Darnell Nurse. That's how they view him?
They view them, yeah. Who's your opinion?
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Yeah.
See, but if players know what they think about Darnell Nurse, why would they view him over? You know what I mean?
I think it's the contract.
Yeah, I guess.
How is that guy getting?
I think it's more of an overpaid situation there, yeah. Portion of the Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. And today, January 31st, is the last day to get every day being past the Tuesday in January. The month of January, pasta Tuesdays every day, every single day of the week. You have all the pasta you crave, the prices you love when you dine in at Boston Pizza, even if it is a non-Tuesday. Final day to take advantage of that. If you're looking for a place to watch the game, you do it at Boston Pizza in their wonderful lounges. $5 off medium pizzas on game day. Are you kidding me? Watching the game, $5 off medium pizza. Cha-ching. $1 off takers of Canadian Coors Light. They got some specials on shots there as well. That is only at Boston Pizza. I had some pasta from Boston Pizza on Monday night.
What'd you get?
Well, I didn't order it myself. I got home Monday. I had a meeting Monday. Got home. Was going to meet my family at the mall.
Yep.
And had a nap at 3:30. Set my alarm for 4:45. Just a quick nap. Alarm goes off at 4:45. And I look at my phone. Tammy had texted me, and she goes, "Hey, we're not going to the mall. If you want to sleep a little longer, you can sleep a little bit longer." I was like, cool, perfect. So I thought I set my alarm for 5:30. I was going to just sleep for another half hour. She comes home at 6:45 and bursts into the room downstairs where I'm napping. She's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And she goes, "I called you 6 times.
No.
Look at your phone." I missed 6 calls, 5 text messages. And, the story that ties into Boston Pizza is that they decided to go out to Boston Pizza in the Hamptons for dinner.
Yeah.
And she texts me. She goes, "Hey, we're going to Boston Pizza. When you wake up, come join us, and we'll order dinner for you and stuff."
Oh, I see.
So they brought me home fettuccine Alfredo.
Delish.
3 meatballs.
Delish.
By the way, Boston Pizza meatballs. Chef's kiss. And a nice little piece of soft garlic bread. It was good. It was good, but yeah, I slept right through a family dinner at Boston Pizza. It really pissed me off.
It happens. You get into that deep sleep, especially that like second portion of an interrupted sleep where you like sleep even harder than the original.
And I told her, I said, I set my alarm, but then I looked and I accidentally set my alarm for 5:30 Sunday afternoon.
I've done that before.
And I was just like, damn. With that being said, I probably could have slept full week, just out.
Yeah, you know you're tired.
Leave me alone. But anyway, that was past that Tuesday deal.
Great thing to wake up to.
Yeah, but I do like going there with the family. I don't know. Boston Pizza is just a great family restaurant too.
It is.
So yeah, I like going there. Looking forward to seeing what some of their deals are in February. Hey, sticking with the Athletic for a second, DNB did do an article on the assets that would be carry some value. I guess. Hey, would that be fair? Assets that carry value heading into the trade deadline. And DNB does a great job, obviously. His top 5 assets that would carry value leading up to the deadline for the Oilers are first rounders. Obviously, put some first rounders in play. I mean, that would be a big thing. Has Broberg number 2 on the list, Kulak number 3 on the list, Raphael Lavoie number 4 on the list, and Xavier Bourgault number 5 on the list. Tommy, with this deadline, where they're at right now, do you think prior to the deadline, one of those assets is no longer an Edmonton Oiler?
Maybe Lavoie, because he signed the 1-year deal.
Yeah.
That might be one. I 2 weeks ago would have said Broberg.
2 weeks ago?
Yes.
So things have changed much in 2 weeks,
I
you
was
think?
told he's very much in their future plans.
Really?
I don't see it, but that's what they think.
Now, could that be a play of wanting to keep his value up there for a trade? So they're telling people, like, very much in their future plans, they don't want to move this guy.
They won't call him up, right?
Well, if they,
in the minors.
He could, if they decide to flip a D-man for a forward, he's going to have to be called up.
Yeah. Again, that is not a great strategy. Yeah, I think Lavoie.
You think he'd be the most likely of anything?
Yeah, but I don't know what the appetite would be for him. He's played some games in the NHL.
At this point, I think you still have to view him as a tweener right now.
Yes.
Right?
Of course.
In fact, right now, he's an American Hockey League player.
Correct.
So he's not even technically a tweener yet. Like, you got to pop 40 games in the NHL over a couple of seasons and then be like, okay, so maybe he's a guy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
he's an all-star in the AHL. That's great.
I was just going to ask you, what's the organization? What's the view on Xavier Bourgault right now for this team?
Keep progressing.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think they're putting a ton of emphasis on him. It's just like, okay, keep bringing him along. Bring him along. No rush. No rush. We'll see where they can fit him in at some point. I think that's kind of the view on him.
He's only in his second full year in the American Hockey League. He's 21. If he comes to camp next year, and he's not having a great year. He's only got 5 goals on the season.
Remember, Matvei Petrov was one they were really excited about. That's kind of feels like it's tapered off a little bit too. But I don't know. I mean, things can change. He's only in his first full year.
He's in his first full year.
Yeah.
He's played 26 games in the A. He's got 4 goals. Bourgault's played 35 and has 5 goals. Yeah, I mean, these guys don't really carry a ton of value. I honestly don't think right now. No. Like, Xavier Bourgault, second-year pro, 21. Right now, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in scoring.
Yeah, like
in Baco. So it's not like Stankoven or something. You know, like these guys.
They're not ready.
They're just
pop,
not,
as we like to say.
So you're just gonna have to be patient. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm looking at this asset list and go, it really sort of depends what you're looking at. Like, if you, let's say, you're looking for a legitimate, let's say like Dowd.
Okay.
Let's just say Nick Dowd, for example.
Sure.
He's under contract for next year. He makes $1.3 million. You'd have to get them to retain a little bit. I think people would probably lose their mind, but I'm just curious, like would like a Raphael Lavoie be moved
straight
in
up
some sort of, I don't know, like just in some sort of deal. I don't know who adds what. I don't know where it goes, but like
Sure.
Is that where we would view that now? But you just said he's American League All-Star. So
he could be like a little sweetener.
I don't know. I don't know the value I don't know the value of good American Hockey League players in NHL trades. I think that's a tough thing.
It has to be a team that like has scouted him heavily, and you usually get a good sense of who's watching your American League team because your American League team, especially if you got scouts from other teams coming to your building, you're the one accrediting them and your PR team, and you're saying, hey, by the way, like Washington, as an example, has been here for the last 3 weeks and scouting our team clearly because they're not following around a different team. So you get a sense of who's being watched. It's not a perfect science, but
Philip Broberg in the American Hockey League in 24 games has 16 points, 1 goal, 15 assists. He's plus 14. I'm looking back to be like, in the American League, is this a step in the right direction just from a numbers standpoint? Obviously, we haven't watched his overall game and seeing where it's at on the other side of the puck. But in 21-22, when he was in Bakersfield, played 23 games in the NHL that year, 31 in the American League, and had 23 points and was plus 14 in 31 games. So it's kind of the same production level that he had 2 full seasons ago in the American League. That's just what Philip Broberg can do in the American League, right? He's 2 points every 3 games, and he's a plus player.
That's good.
You just hope that eventually translates into the National Hockey League. As I said earlier today, though, I just feel like it's risky if you're expecting that to translate for the playoffs this year and you decide to move out a veteran defenseman to improve a forward group that's already one of the best in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, that would be such a dicey move.
I think it's risky.
High risk, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Especially when I think one of the keys for the Oilers would be to add another veteran defenseman, not trade one away. Add another veteran defenseman. Should kind of be at the top of that list.
I agree.
Portions of the Oil Stream brought to you by Boston Pizza. If you're looking for a place to watch a game, Boston Pizza Lounge, they'll get it done for you. $5 off medium pizzas during the game.
Did you see this text from Donkey?
No.
Can you read it?
You want me to read it?
Yeah. I think the way you could execute on this text would be better than me.
Lavoie is basically Anthony Mantha, but shittier.
Yeah. How do you really feel, Donkey?
Yeah. Anthony Mantha's on a lot of trade boards right now.
Yeah, he is. I'm surprised. I thought that was a good move picking him up in Washington.
I thought it was worth it, and it just never worked.
Yeah, it didn't click. Anyway, that's Donkey.
Okay, let's get to the NHL awards over at Coolbet.
Okay.
Because I want to see what the number is. Yeah, this is up, man. Edmonton, I love you. This morning, this number was at plus 2,500, so 25-1 for Connor McDavid to win the Art Ross. During the lock shop, it was at 23-1. So the amount of bets that came in on it in the morning show knocked it from 25-1 to 23-1.
Yeah.
We talked about in the lock shop again, it moved from 23-1 to 20-1. So now it's at 20-1. When we wrapped up the lock shop today, I said, you're going to probably want to hop on this now because I feel by the time they play again, it'll be inside 20-1. And it's already at 20-1.
Yeah.
He is 18 points behind and this is not the end of the world. We're not sitting here being like, he has to win it. I just find it intriguing that you can, I got it this morning at 25-1. Now it's 20-1. He's got 4 games in hand on McKinnon, 5 games in hand on Kucherov, is 18 points back of the leader. He's got 67. They got 85. Tommy, how long of shot is it that McDavid kind of gets hot, takes advantage of these games in hand, which could be 8 to 10 points. Then all of a sudden you're kind of right back in the thick of this race. Or is it because the way that they're playing now, not as much run and gun, a little bit tighter defensively?
But what did he have? 8 points last year? 4-4 in 3 games?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Do that a few more times.
I kind of thought he would be closer to McKinnon and Kucherov by now, but you're right. Like, they won a lot of 3-1 games and tight games. I don't like his chances. I kind of was like, I don't think.
I wonder if McKinnon and Kucherov cool off a little bit at one point. Like they're on a 140-point pace, man.
They've
like
been so good.
That's 2 amazing seasons right there.
Like you said, if you sprinkle a few bucks, the payout would be great. It would have been way better this morning. I don't know. It might be worth a few shekels. I wouldn't be spending a lot on it. I don't like his chances of winning the Art Ross. I'm like, is this the year he does the Yzerman thing?
I'm still, which is what everybody's been wanting forever.
They want the Yzerman
thing. If they make it to the Stanley Cup final and they lose, and people are texting in to Edmonton Sports Talk bitching about like, well, the guy didn't even win the Art Ross this year. Like you can't have it both ways.
He's one of the 3 stars of the week, like every week. Every second week this season. Still.
Just one quick note here from One Putt. The Super Bowl promo went really well, and it's now sold out.
Beautiful.
So, birthday parties, stags, team building, much more. You can fit up to 30 golfers, 40 people in total. So you can really kind of take the whole place for a big event, which would be pretty cool. www.oneputt.ca and at OnePuttYEG. Awesome to see that Super Bowl promo is filled up for Shin and the crew over at One Putt Virtual Golf. All right, that's going to do it for the oil stream today. What are we talk about on Friday? We'll be coming off post-draft.
Somebody else that has their name floated out there in some ridiculous trade proposition.
You think that's what ends up happening?
I don't know. I like
it's
this.
It's probably what ends up happening.
Yeah, we'll talk All-Star for sure, but
we'll definitely get into the All-Star.
Yeah,
game.
I liked what Wyshynski said today. Wyshynski was really good on the All-Star thing.
Well, he also was good on McDavid today.
Yep.
He had an interview with McDavid. One thing we can talk about on Friday is McDavid's like overall being the man in the National Hockey League. I brought that up with Greg today. Like, is this peak McDavid? Like when he has
embraced it.
Say and stuff. And I thought Greg made a really good point saying he hasn't been through like a CBA thing yet. Like, let's see how he handles it as a leader of the players in a collective bargaining situation, which that could be a big legacy thing for sure. So, all right, that's going to do it today here at Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're listening on TuneIn or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, thank you very much. Tell your friends about EST. We got Nielsen Show replay coming up right away on TuneIn. So if you're looking for something entertaining to listen to this afternoon, that should take care of it for you. I'll be back with the Nielsen Show tomorrow morning with YouTube Trev and Lieutenant Eric. Scalding hot takes tomorrow for Claiborne Services, which should be good. And then we've got a captain's draft, 9 o'clock Friday, myself, Tommy Gazzola, Lieutenant Eric, EST glue guy Jay Milne, and Commissioner Quinn Phillips. That should be pretty fun. We got an entertaining week coming up here the rest of the week on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tommy, good show today, buddy.
Thank you. You too.
We'll talk to you later.
All right. I look forward to it. Bye-bye.